Good morning, children. In the last session, I told you about the concept of quantum numbers. So let us quickly recall what we did in the last session. Quantum numbers are what, children? These are those numbers or are the set of four numbers which helps us to find out the probable location of an electron in an element or in an atom. Okay, and there are basically four quantum numbers. What are those four quantum numbers? First one is principal quantum number denoted by n. Second is azimuthal quantum number, which is denoted by L. And then third is magnetic quantum number denoted by M. And the last is spin quantum number, which is denoted by S. So what are the informations that we get from principal quantum number? We get to know about the shell. We get to know about the shell number in which the electron is present. Shell number, orbit number, or you can say the energy level number in which the electron is present. We also come to know about the energy concept, energy of the orbit, and also about the radii, atomic radii, or the distance between the nucleus and that particular orbit. So these are the three informations that we get from principal quantum number. And then second is azimuthal or the subsidiary quantum number. With the help of this, we come to know about the subshells. We come to know about the subshells in which the electron can be present. So principal quantum numbers are basically K, L, M, N, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, and these subshells are S, P, D, F, and in some cases you'll also come across G. Then comes the concept of orbital, which we get to know from the magnetic quantum number. The magnetic quantum number tells us about the number of orbitals which are there, in each subshell. Okay, and also it gives an information about the orbital in which there is probability of locating the electron. So this tells us about the orbital. And the spin tells us about the spin orientation of an electron. Spin orientation of an electron. So this is the order that we need to follow in order to reach to the electron in an atom. So first of all, you need to reach to the shell in which the electron, the probable position of electron is. Then you will enter into the subshell. Okay, next is to enter into the subshell, and then you enter into the orbital in which the electron can be present, and then finally you reach to the electron. Okay, and last is to find out the spin orientation of the electron, that how is the electron located in that orbital. So basically these are the things that we discussed in the previous videos. And then the other part is what are the calculations, what are the formulas that we use to find out the various values. So to explain that, I am taking an example. If suppose, take it as question number 1. If suppose the value of n is given to you, the value of principal quantum number is given to you, that is 4. Okay, the value of n is given to you as 4. Now you have to find out, what do you have to find out? You have to find out all the possible quantum numbers you need to find out. Okay, so this is the question. Now when you know that this is the value of n, so first is you mention here that the value of n is given as 4. Second is what are the possible values of L. If you remember, children, I told you the possible values of L is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So it will be equal to 0, 1, 2 and 3. Then moving on to the value of m. Now value of m will be different for each value of L. For this 0, it will be equal to 1. Okay, corresponding to this, for this 1 it will be equal to 3, for this it will be equal to 5, and for this it will be equal to 7. So these are the possible values of m. And then coming to the value of s can have only two values, plus minus half, either plus half or minus half. Now if you want to represent it in the form of a table, okay, you will write here the values of n. First of all, the values of, or you can say the value of n, only one value is given, the value of n is 4. Then moving on to the possible values of L, that means fourth shell. This fourth shell can have 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, these values of L. 0 means we are talking about S subshell, 1 means we are talking about P subshell, 2 means we are talking about D subshell, 3 means we are talking about F subshell. So these are the S, P, D, F subshells that are possible when the value of n is 4. Then coming to the possible values of m. Value of m for this 0 is 1, that means S subshell has only one orbital, P subshell has 3 orbital, D has 5, F has 7. This I have already discussed with you in my previous class, that how do we find the values of m. The formula to find the value of m is 2l plus 1. So you can substitute the value. Suppose for l equals to 0, the formula, if you are using 2l plus 1, substituting the value of l as 0, 2 into 0 plus 1, what will you get? You will get the answer as 1. Now again coming to the representation of m, how will you represent m? For 1 means the value will be this one box. 3 orbitals means orbitals are represented in the form of these boxes. Then 5 means this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then comes the value which is equal to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the values. Then one more thing I told you, that if orbital, this if you know the value of L, then the various values of m, or the orientation, is equal to plus L to minus L to plus L. Minus L to plus L means the value for this, only one orbital is there, the value of it is 0. Then for this it is minus 1, 0 to plus 1. For this you have the value as 2, then it is equal to minus 2 to minus 1, 0 to plus 1 to plus 2. Then for this the value is 3, which means plus 3 to minus 3 to minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2 and plus 3. So these are the values. These are the values of the orientations which are possible for the various orbitals, and these figures indicate the number of orbitals which each subshell can have. So do remember this, that S subshell has only one orbital, P subshell has 3 orbital, D subshell has 5 orbitals and F has 7. This you need to remember, children. This is very important. And as I told you that each orbital can hold 1 electron. So this can hold 2 electron. Okay, electron filling is like this maximum, and this can hold, I'm using a different pen, this can hold 6 electrons, because each box can have 2 electrons, therefore total 6 electrons. Again 5 boxes means 5 orbitals means 10 electrons, so the maximum electron holding capacity is 10, and in this case it will be how much? It will be equal to 14. These are very important concept, because this is introducing you to the basics of quantum mechanical model. So children, these are the various informations that we can get for various these or quantum numbers when you have this value of n with you. Okay, now how will you represent this? We know that this is 4, that is shell number is 4 and subshell is S. So you can write here for this particular, you can mention 4S. The representation is equal to 4S, and for this it is equal to 4p. For this it is equal to 4d. For this it is equal to 4f. That means the fourth shell can have all the four subshells. The fourth shell can have all the four subshells. Now tell me, is it possible for this particular n equals to 4 to have G subshell? It has S, P, D, F. Is it possible for this n equals to 4 to have G subshell? Is it possible? Think. No, it is not possible. Why? Because the possible values of L for the given value of n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. So 0 to n minus 1 means the possible values are 0, 1, 2, 3. Only these four values are possible. So the existence of G subshell for this particular value of shell is not possible. So I hope this is clear. Now coming to another question. Now suppose the question given is you have 3D or a 3D representation given to you. You have to find out the value of n, you have to find out the value of L and value of M. So these three quantum numbers you need to extract out from this given value, which is equal to 3D. Now what does this 3 represent here? It is very simple solution. What does this 3 represent here? 3 represent here the value of n is equal to 3. Okay. Now what does this D represent here? We have just seen here that the value of D, the value of L for D is equal to 2. So the value of L will be 2. Okay. Now the value of M, we all have learnt this recently, that D subshell, sorry, I have mentioned 0 here, it is 2. Okay. Now for D subshell, children, how many orbitals are possible? The number of orbitals that are possible are 5. And what are what will be the value of those 5 orbitals? It will be equal to -2 and -1, 0, +1 and +2. So these are the 5 orbitals which are possible. And if S is asked, S is always either plus or minus half. This value can never be sure, that is why we'll write it like this, plus minus half. Now the question that must be coming in your mind is, if the value of n is 3, then why only we have taken the value of L as 2? Why have we not mentioned here 0, 1, 2? Because in this particular representation it is already specified that 3D is given to you. It is not including other it is not including other subshells. It is only including D subshell with it. That means the value of subshell is already given to you, and subshell information is obtained from which quantum number? Azimuthal quantum number. So you can directly mention here 2. No need to write here 1, 2 or any other number, 0, 1. If you include, you will include 0, 1, it will be marked wrong, because it is already specified here that we are only talking about this. If it is given like this, suppose if the question is given like this, the value of n is 3 and you have to find out all the possible values of quantum numbers, then you will mention here that the value of L will be 0, 1 and 2. Why? Because in this particular case it is not mentioned that what subshell is being mentioned. So you'll mention all the possible subshells, that is S, P, D. These are the possible subshells, but in this particular case it is already specified that we are talking about D subshell. So L will have only one value, contrary to this where the L will can have the 3 possible values. I hope this is clear to you, children, and if it is not clear, please ask me, because this is very important. When you will learn more concepts in this chapter, you will be able to easily recognize, or you will be able to easily differentiate between these two. So basically quantum numbers are those set of numbers which are helping us to locate an electron in an atom, and there are 4 set of quantum numbers which provide us the pathway which has to be followed in order to reach to the electron in an atom, as I told you, suppose if a person has to locate you, the first thing he'll do is to reach to your home, then to the room in which you are present, and to be more specific, he will locate you on the furniture that on which you are sitting, and to be more specific, he will try to find out your orientation, that how are you lying there, you are sitting, you are sleeping, whatever your position is, and in this way he will have your complete knowledge, okay, your complete information. So this is what we get to know from quantum numbers. Now here you can see some more questions are written. Write down the values of L for the electron present in third shell. Okay, now third shell means we are in the value of n equals to 3. For n equals to 3, you have to find out all the possible values of L. This we have discussed just now. It is 0, 1 and 2. How many orbitals are present in p subshell? This we have calculated. P means the value of L for P is 1, and the formula to find out M is 2L plus 1, which will be equal to 3, and the number of orbitals are 3 and number of electrons will be 6. Okay, now give the possible values of L, M and S for electrons having n equals to 2. So if the value of n is 2, then what will be the value of L? 0 to n minus 1, which will be equal to 0 and 1. That means it has only S and P subshell. This 0 indicates the subshell is S and 1 indicates the subshell is P. And the possible values of M, for S it will be 0 and for P it will be minus 1, 0, plus 1. And for this particular case, that means in one box the value of electron, the spin can be plus or minus half. This indicates plus half, this indicates minus half. That means the two electrons will have the opposite spin when it is present together in an orbit. It can in an orbital, it can never have, the two electrons can never have the same spin like this or like this. Okay, it will have opposite spin always, because in order to prevent the repulsions, strong repulsions, because the two electrons will have same charge, obviously there is a possibility of strong repulsions. So to minimize that repulsion or to gain the stability, the electrons adjust themselves with opposite spin in an orbital. That is why it is indicated with plus minus half. Plus half is for one electron, minus half is for another electron. So overall the total value of spin will be 0. That indicates the stability, and you can see here for everywhere all the electron is mentioned plus minus half, plus minus half, plus minus half, which means that the possibility of the two electrons in orbital is only this, either plus or minus half. Okay. Now there are some given sets of quantum numbers. Okay, now you have to state that which set is possible, what are the possible sets of quantum numbers. Okay, so first one is n equals to 0, L equals to 0, M equals to 1, S is equal to plus half. Now when n is equal to 0, is it possible? Is there any shell with the shell number 0? No, so this is not possible. Second is n equals to 2, L equals to 1, M equals to 0, S is equal to minus half. N equals to 2, that means L is equal to 0 or 1. 0 and 1. Whereas in this particular case only 1 is mentioned. Okay. Moreover, though L is possible, so it cannot be considered as wrong, but come to the value of M. For L equals to 1, that means p orbital. It is talking about p orbital. The value of M will be 3. Again, this is not possible. Now coming to third one, n equals to 2, L equals to 0, M equals to 3, S is equal to plus half. N equals to 2, that means the possible values of L is equal to 0 to 1, that is 0 comma 1, and the value of this M can be 3. For this, is it 3? If L is equal to 0, the value of M will also be 0. That means if L is equal to 0, the value of M will be equal to 1, and it will have only one box with 0 value. That means these two values are not correct. These are not matching with with each other, they are not going together, so this is again not possible. Now coming to fourth one, n equals to 3. For n equals to 3, L equals to 1 is possible, but for L equals to 1, is m equals to 0 possible? No, it is not possible. Okay, if L is equal to 1, m equals to 0 is not possible, and s is equal to plus half, it is possible. But for this p orbital, the value of m should be 3. That means it is also not possible. So far whatever we did is not possible. But as a case, if you consider these two, you can this one and this last one, you can see here, for L n equals to 2, the value of L which is possible is 0 and 1, and for L equals to 0, m can be 0. So this is possible if you consider it like this. Okay, it will be marked correct or possible. Similarly, for the fourth one, children, if you consider all the possible values of n, that is 0 to n minus 1, 0, 1 and 2, then for L equals to 0, m equals to 0 is possible. So this is also possible in this way. So you have to consider all the possible values of L, then you will match with the value of m, and then considering that, you will say whether this particular these values are possible or no. Okay, and in a nutshell, children, these are some important formulas which can give you the direct values if it is asked in your exam. You don't need to do the entire calculation and then reach to it. In nutshell, you can say that number of subshells in a principal shell is equal to n. Number of subshells in a principal shell is equal to n. Number of orbitals in a shell is equal to n square. Maximum number of electrons in a shell is equal to 2n square. Number of orbitals in a subshell is equal to 2l plus 1. Maximum number of electrons in a subshell is equal to 2 into 2l plus 1. So these are very important formulas. You can also correlate your calculations with these formulas, and then you can come to the conclusion. Okay, in case you are not able to find it correct or any difficulty if you are finding in these formulas, you can ask me. So I hope, children, now quantum numbers are absolutely clear to you. I'll be sharing some NCERT questions with you so that you can practice, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Thank you.